So if you put those two together, a human being that wants to earn, and then customers around them that don't trust any platform but do trust him or her, putting those together, I won't call it innovation. I would call it, probably a sound business idea.
SariSuki started in 2021. It's around a 2-year-old company now, around April 2021. And I'm sure a lot of people during the pandemic experienced these Viber groups, Facebook groups, because mobility was limited, access to products was limited. So there was a lot of these pasabay type of groups where there would be a community seller that would consolidate orders, whether it's seafood, whether it's fruits, whether it's vegetables, and then take orders on social media platforms, whether it's chat or Facebook, and then consolidate those orders, receive the products, and then deliver to the end customer. So my wife started her own community selling in January of 2021. And it started growing bit by bit, started from friends and family, and then increased to through referrals from those customers. And when I saw what she was doing, my partners and I researched how things were done in other parts of the world, and we saw that this whole concept of social commerce, well, it's like e-commerce plus social media combined, where you conduct e-commerce by leveraging social connections of individuals and users, was something that was growing quite rapidly in other parts of the globe, China, in Indonesia and India in particular. So we said, why not create a platform that can provide broader access? And it was also around that time when I just left my old company, and a lot of the communities that we built during that time were also hit by the pandemic. So through social commerce, there was a way to help individuals have a source of income, but also not have to have the big hassle of trying to put up their own website, trying to source different products. So SariSuki was born out of that desire to help people affected by the pandemic. And now these individuals can sign up to SariSuki, join the app. They'll have a web store that will be created for them, which they can share to their friends and family. And they'll have access to over 5,000 different products, daily essential products, all the way from vegetables, meats, eggs, rice, and so on, that they can sell into those communities and through that make a living.
Yeah, so I think innovation, I don't know if we're truly innovative though. It's just hitting on the common threads of a human being. A human being wants to earn, right? And then other consumers don't trust e-commerce platforms that easily. That's one of the barriers, right? So if you put those two together, a human being that wants to earn, and then customers around them that don't trust any platform but do trust him or her, putting those together, I won't call it innovation. I would call it, probably a sound business idea. Just harping on, okay, these are the two truths that we know. Someone wants to earn. He or she can break that trust barrier of the goods that we sell in their communities. And if we put two together, you get more out of it. So I say that's an innovation, but that's more of putting truths together and making a bigger sum out of those two parts.
Tech, as you know, we take it for granted. I mean, people who have access to the internet on a regular daily basis, and of course, a lot of the people in our team have that. They're all on only plans, or they're always on Wi-Fi. We may think that the Philippines broadly is like that because it's how we live our lives, but it's not. So a lot of the communities that we work with, simple pinning their address on a map they're not they don't know how
A third
they don't
of
know how
them won't be able to do it.
yeah, they don't know how to do it. Simple, just signing up can get very complicated to some people. So we had to make it as simple as possible. Just sign up with your phone number. You don't even have to like put in so many details to create an account. And then there's a strategy. So having a good product manager to come up with a sign-up strategy just in itself is very key. And that can only be done by understanding the users. So the user experience and the user interface becomes a very important role to increase adoption. And then the challenge with building a community is that some people are just inherently shy. So one thing that our community leaders tell us, how do we find more customers? Although a lot of them are able to break out of their shy shell and find customers. We've had community leaders that have grown their business multiple folds. They'll start off with 10,000-20,000 pesos a month in sales, grow that to 500,000 a month in 6 months, because they're able to leverage social media. They're able to leverage the connections they have in their little barangay. But we also supplement that with lessons. So we'll give them social media marketing lessons, financial literacy lessons, in order to strengthen their personal toolkit to improve the way they run a business.
Yeah, even just to build their confidence, right? So if you assume that the regular Filipino is very tech savvy, then you're super mistaken. Probably only a 5% or maybe even less are as tech savvy as you think. Like for example, some of our end customers used to be senior citizens, right? So how can we let senior citizens order from a web store?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a tough thing, right? So we had to let our community sellers become the agent to tech adoption to these 60, 70, 80 years old. And it was up to us for SariSuki to help our community leaders teach their Sukis to order from the web store, or maybe just order for themselves, right? So it's to assume that everyone is tech savvy is completely wrong, right?
Yeah.
But I think that's the beauty of it. That's the challenge of it. It's a hard thing to do, to have tech adoption be done by a startup, right? And we do that every day. So we have a learning department. We make sure that our lessons are easy, are fun, and there's a certain sense of satisfaction when you see someone being able to do their own Facebook page, and you see that store, that sarisuki.com/something store. Then you see in your Instagram reel there's someone that is making their own photos, and you see store.sarisuki.com/something store.
Yeah.
It's nakaka-proud that these guys know how to do it already, but it's a tough thing.
That's the nice thing about our culture, and like the people, the individuals that we work with. Their capacity to learn is very high. If they want to learn, they will
desire.
learn. Kaya nila.
There's desire. You just need to tap that desire. I think on expansion, so we've expanded to Cebu about 9 months ago. I think what we want to do is we've covered enough of the demographic to build a proper scale, at least in the next 1 to 2 years. What the challenge that we want to look at really is user engagement. Again, it's not easy to have a business, right? 1 out of 10 businesses fail, right? What we want to do is to tackle those failure points or those pain points why the businesses fail. And hopefully, our SariSuki community leaders, through our engagement tools, through our learning tools, we try to make it fun for them to sell and to see that they earn. I think that's what we really want to focus on, to grow our community leaders' business and to really truly make them profitable and to make it worthwhile for them to become Kasari community sellers.